Libra. Welcome. So I decided to kind of do like a bonus read for you guys because the one, I think the title of it was that this was a doozy, and it was. That very well could be somebody's story, of course. But I just kind of had this little nagging feeling of doing another one. Like, you know, this Ace of Cups has come out a couple times, actually. I shuffled the deck a bunch between readings, but in the event that you haven't watched the other one, we're doing the spread a little bit different this month. And if you're new here, this is going to be new for you anyway. And of course, welcome to everybody. I don't think I said that in the beginning. Subscribe to the channel. I would absolutely appreciate that. So I'm going to shuffle the cards 3 times one way, 3 times another way, because 3 is my number. And if you have a number, drop it in the comments, because if you know, you know. And 3 is my number. So 3 times one way, 3 times another way, and then I'm going to split the deck. We're going to take the top 9 cards off, and then we'll kind of go from there, of course. So we're asking for a message for Libra for May 2022. What is the message for Libra? I kind of want to, let me just, the sun comes falling out. Okay. Which is good stuff. I mean, the Ace of Cups kept showing itself, the sun. What was the one that fell out? I think it was maybe the 2 of Swords. So we have the 4 of Wands. Might be too high. I'll check. The High Priestess, the Emperor, Queen of Cups, 8 of Wands, Death, 5 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands. And then we have the Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. Okay, it actually looks like everybody's in frame. Looks good. So, there's not necessarily a rhyme or reason to this. It's kind of like bingo. We're going to go by each row. We're going to go down the columns. You know, the energy could go diagonally. It could go up, down, up. My intention, of course, is to just kind of bring you all the messages that are coming through to me. And as always, I explain the energy of each card because, you know, we all have our own intuition, of course, and depending on your situation, right? I mean, you know, of course, a message could present itself to you. So, I can't really remember everything about the last reading, so I'm not necessarily they're not even connected anyway. So let's just kind of dig in here. So we start with the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands talks about clearly celebration, right? This is getting to a point where, you know, kind of, it's like your efforts have paid off. This is generally a card of union and harmony. It talks about having a firm foundation. Wands are fire. So it talks about motivation, action, communication. So, you know, the things that maybe you have been kind of putting more of a focus on, or even the way that you have been communicating with people, there either has been a level of kind of success there, or maybe there's even been like a breakthrough for you or somebody else involved in the situation. There doesn't have to be 4 other people involved, but with the 4 of Wands, typically there may be somebody else involved. This could even be, you know, like maybe people around you celebrating, like maybe even, you know, you've kind of weeded out certain people from your life that maybe are no longer serving your highest good. And, you know, you've kind of narrowed it down. Like, I'm the type of person where I'd rather make $1 out of 4 quarters versus 100 pennies. So I always kind of keep my circles a little bit tight. So that could be what's going on here. And it's kind of like, you know, everybody is like on the same page type of thing. And then we have the High Priestess next to that. And the High Priestess talks about intuition. And I see it as being in tune with our star player. It's almost kind of like a direct connection to our higher selves. I love how she's kind of giving a tarot reading. She's got her little ball here. There's some runes there. You know, this also talks about drawing on your own innate wisdom from your own experiences, but also what you know to be true about yourself. This also kind of talks about like maybe, you know, the Fool, the Fool. That's interesting. Is the Fool anywhere out here? No, that's interesting. So the full expression of a situation may not have kind of been revealed yet. Or you could even maybe be searching for some sort of answer, some sort of closure. This also, you know, we have this light candle on a dark pillar and the dark candle on a light pillar. So this just kind of talks about the balancing of contradicting energies. Like it, you know, it's about duality also. And then we have the Emperor. The Emperor, this is Aries. The Emperor is all of the kings in one energy. So, you know, it's kind of the highest expression of all of the suits. Like this figure, it's the divine masculine also. So, you know, it's the energy of masculine though. So it's initiating and labor and almost like this kind of bulldozing feeling. There's a energy of authority, also like a leadership type energy. It's interesting because there's also this sense of ease. Like, you know, the dog is sleeping, the cat is comfortable. And I kind of see this as like plotting the stars because it is nighttime. And, you know, just these two cards next to each other. I mean, she would be the one that would be reading the stars and he's the one that's mapping them, right? I mean, this could be 2 different people because like I said, with the 4 of Wands, you know, there is generally more than one person involved. This could be your energy and this could be the person, you know, that's also, you know, and it could be romantic. It could be platonic. It could be business or vice versa, right? Like this could be your energy. This could be the other person involved. This could even be a mentor to a certain extent. Like if this is your energy, this would be maybe just kind of not even necessarily a mentor, but like, what are they? Advisor. However, if there is not anybody else involved, and this is about you, because on this channel, we talk about you. My concern is you. And if there are other people involved in the situation, then I'm concerned about them too. But I'm all about the star player here. So, there could be this level of success. And it doesn't have to be, like something so extreme where you've made a 180 transformation or something. Of course it can be that. But, success is relative. It depends on who you ask, right? So, you could be celebrating getting out of bed today. And that's just, like it's something that you've really been kind of conjuring up the energy to do and feeling good about it. Like maybe you washed a dish also, whatever. This could also be like, reaching a new level of healing in your journey. Right? And, just really kind of soaking in this Emperor energy. Even the cats are celebrating. And then we have the Queen of Wands down here. The Queen of Wands is Cancer, I believe. The High Priestess is ruled by the Moon, which is also Cancer. So, there could be a Cancer in your existence. This isn't specifically the Cancer card. I believe that's the Chariot, but the High Priestess is ruled by the Moon. And anyway. So the Queen of Cups when we talk about the queens are the embodiment of the suit. So it's when we finally, kind of understand the energy and, really kind of feel it within ourselves, and cups having to do with emotions, right? So this could be being very clear in your emotions. This could be having control of your emotions. There's these fish that are jumping out of the water here. And she's got this shell with water, which is interesting because they're in water, right? But it's something that she's bringing. And even this cat down here is excited for it. You can also clearly tell that she's pregnant. And, when we talk about pregnancy in tarot, it's more so, like fertility as far as birthing opportunities. Of course, it can be an expression of love. Also, very with the Queen, again, it's empathetic, it's compassionate, but these are the things that we're able to give to ourselves before we give to other people, because we have to make sure that our cup is full. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? And the Queen recognizes that. So the Queen makes sure that her cup is full first before she... And this would signify that you have enough to share. Even by, like the representation of being pregnant, that would mean that, again, you have enough to where, and clearly, you know, kind of having this maternal energy, very nurturing. This, again, could be something that you're giving to yourself, or maybe you're feeling from those around you. And then we have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands talks about information. Again, with the wands, you know, it's communication, it's action, motivation. I always kind of see it as being information also. And with the Eight of Wands, it is very fast moving. I mean, you can see that there's this tornado here and she's kind of like, you know, how am I going to, you know, I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed. But, you know, all these wands are still in the air. So, I mean, she's clearly doing it. And then we have Death here, which is a Scorpio card. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell here, but this rope is literally hanging on by a thread. And, you know, this representation of death here, you know, I mean, like my assumption would be they're going to cut that. I think about Hercules, the cartoon, right? With the, or are they the seers? I can't remember what they're actually called, but you know, they have those threads and they snip them. But also interesting. So, you know, death doesn't actually mean, of course, like literal death, but it does signify that there is this transformation happening. Like literally something is, an energy is dying off. But also, you know, we have this door that's open back here. So it's not the end, but it is, you know, it's the end so that a new beginning can begin. I was talking too fast for like my mouth, but because I just made this correlation that, you know, in some decks, the death card is actually called Death and Rebirth. And we have this pregnancy representation here. So, you know, there's that saying that every beginning is disguised as an ending. And that's what the death card is. Which, you know, not to say that this card is ever really easy, because it's not. But this is also just a message that whatever the, you know, like the situation is, this door is open. So it's not just hopeless. And this is for your highest good. Like, they are going to cut that rope so that you can walk through this door, or even so the door can open. So this beginning can come in. And, you know, with the Eight of Wands being in the middle, and even with it being in the central energy, like, you know, it just, everything around you might just kind of be feeling like it's just whirling. I mean, you know, like there could be multiple areas of your life that, you know, like you are kind of examining all at the same time. And this could just be a message to kind of slow it down, like pick something, just pick one. Pick one, pick one. I was thinking of the crab in Moana with his eye. Clearly, for me, it's either Harry Potter or animated movies. And then we have the Five of Swords down here. The Five of Swords would indicate competition and conflict. The fives are transitionary energies. So it's not necessarily something to get stuck in. This is, you know, of course, air energy. So it's definitely, you know, like a card of your energy. I don't know. I think it might be more of specifically Aquarius. I can't remember. But swords have to do with our thoughts, intellect. It's a lot of ego also, because that's where we hear our ego, right? Is in our minds. So you could be any one of these characters on this card. You could be this one who has basically all control of the swords and, you know, like really kind of having control of the narrative. You could be this other person that's like, what the hell is going on here? Or you could be this other person who's seemingly very affected, very sad. Even these cats, you know, are kind of like, what the hell? You know, I mean, this person could have just come prepared. There's this book down here. We have all these books behind the High Priestess also. So, you know, I mean, you could have like really been putting in a lot of research. I always kind of get the energy of Hermione in this card because, you know, when she just kind of shows up to class and all she's been doing is studying. So she's kind of like the teacher's pet and everybody else is like, dude, what, how do you even know that, right? But again, you know, there is kind of this energy of control because nobody else is even kind of being given a shot. At least in this, you know, kind of depiction here. So again, you can be any one of these three characters depending on your situation. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Pentacles have to do with our earth signs. So that's Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Pentacles have to do with our time, resources, money. It could also do with our physical health, like our actual body. And the Three talks about collaboration. You know, there's two other people in this card. And the assumption would be that they're all kind of working on this one painting together. So again, you know, I mean, there could be somebody coming in to help you. You could start working with somebody else who would kind of help you navigate this energy. But there is, you know, some sort of planning forward, some sort of, but this isn't necessarily by yourself. Like this would take somebody else coming in to help. And they actually would. I mean, that's the point of the Three of Pentacles is practical help, practical application. And then we have the Three of Wands next to that. So it's interesting that there's two threes. And I love the number 3. But the Three of Wands signifies almost kind of like going on a new journey. You know, she's got this wand here that she's playing with the energy of. There's these two other wands here. So it's kind of like trying stuff on and seeing how it fits. But what's interesting is that, you know, we go from the Four of Wands up here to the Three of Wands, which, I mean, you know, it's a digression or is that the right word? Is that even a word? Where we go from the 4 to the 3. However, there's one person on this card. There's no longer 4. So this is kind of, you know, like you taking control. You know, the Three of Wands also kind of talks about your ships coming in. It could even be that you're waiting for more information. But again, this almost kind of seems like you're playing with options. And like you're actually playing with options. Like not just, you know, necessarily thinking about it. You're actually kind of trying things. And then we have the Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. And the Hanged Man talks about, there's a little bit of a delay that comes with the Hanged Man because they're literally hanging upside down. It's not like they're like actually moving. But this is kind of like a forced, willful suspension. Like clearly they're hanging upside down, right? But they have the key in their hand. So they can get out of these locks and chains if they wanted to, or when they're ready. But the Hanged Man says that, you know, it's kind of needing to see a situation from a different perspective. It also talks about enlightenment. But again, you know, I mean, like this isn't a card that is in motion. So these may just kind of all be internal energies. Like you might just kind of like really be kind of ramping up for something or starting to. So we have the Nine of Pentacles behind there. And the Nine of Pentacles talks about financial independence and a stability. You know, I mean, there could be some information that kind of comes out or that you learn that, you know, like, again, you know, maybe allows you to kind of, you know, think about yourself, like really kind of consider yourself, like really kind of consider your star player and what you want to do next versus kind of being in this groupthink energy. This is more individual. And then again, you know, even with the Nine of Pentacles, like, you know, that would be individual success. Your needs being met. You did that. And so we'll go down the columns and then we'll kind of wrap it up here for you. So again, Four of Wands, Queen of Cups, Five of Swords. This almost kind of feels like taking your power back. But it's like, you know, it's based on like this kind of deep understanding of yourself, the people around you, the situation. Like, I'm really not even getting the competition feeling in this column. Again, you know, this just kind of seems like you are regaining confidence. This could even be it's almost kind of like I get this feeling of like the smoke clearing, like, or the fog clearing, like the mental fog. These two people could be creating that fog. And you could be like, no, I see exactly what it is. I'm standing in my Queen of Cups energy, right? Very clear. I can have compassion for it. I can have compassion for myself, right? But you know, the fog is definitely clearing up here. That's how it feels. And it's also interesting that this Queen of Cups is by herself. And the Four of Wands and the Five of Swords, you know, there's other people involved. So again, like this is really kind of relying on your feelings and almost, you know, not letting them be affected by smoke and mirrors. But of course, to be the Queen of Cups, like this would take a clarity of emotion. Like this is somebody who's done a lot of deep diving into why they feel the way that they feel. This is somebody who, you know, has gone on this journey of inner child healing, right? And that could even be what this pregnancy is representing. kind of this like nurturing of your inner child. And then the High Priestess, 8 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. Again, this whole thing feels like, this feels like a mentor. This could be a therapist. It could be a coach to some degree. But it's almost kind of somebody who is able to navigate these dualities. Like it's somebody who's kind of able to, again, navigate the darker energies, like the shadow sides, and show you kind of how to work through those things. They would be somebody who would be well educated, well read. So, you know, I mean, it doesn't have to be a traditional, you know, therapist, like I said. But again, you know, and I'm only saying that because, you know, with the 3 of Pentacles, it would be somebody helping you. And it would be somebody who has kind of this practical, hey, practical magic, right? But it just this practical way of helping you navigate all of this shit, right? I mean, like we have all of this stuff just kind of swirling in the air. It's, you know, like there's this tornado here. I know that this is how my existence feels sometimes. So, you know, this person would be helping you kind of navigate these things. And they would be working with you, like, you know, not necessarily like telling you what to do, right? But I mean, really kind of working with you. And giving you like tools to draw in on for, you know, future occurrences. I absolutely love that. And then the Emperor, Death, and 3 of Wands. This could be somebody that, because even, you know, this energy here with the Emperor, 8 of Wands, and the 5 of Swords, either way you go, this could be somebody who has maybe a bit of, you know, kind of manipulation or control over the situation. This could be, you know, like I said, what he over here, right? You know, really kind of regaining control of yourself, right? And the way that you think, and the fog is clearing, right? He would be the fog. Like that's how it feels. Because he's just sitting here, right? And these people, you know, these figures on these 2 cards are up in arms, right? Like, I mean, it's just kind of scattered, and he's just sitting there like, yeah. I did that, you know? Or, of course, you know, I mean, again, like this could be by working through some of this, you're regaining your control, regaining, you know, like feeling a sense of self, you know, really kind of getting all of this overwhelm under control, or just, you know, like even just a little bit. And this is how you feel, you know, just really kind of, again, feeling grounded, feeling like you can actually kind of do more, or maybe you want to do more. Anyway, and then we have Death. And it's interesting because, you know, like I said, with the imagery here of, to me, it feels like they're about to cut that last thread. And what's after that is this kind of this, like, this feels like freedom. Like really kind of being able to make your own decisions, almost be your own advocate, like your own best friend, you know, really standing in like your own power. And that would be where, you know, you kind of start playing with these energies from, is from your own power. Like, ooh, let's see what I can do with this now that I'm back. And still, you know, the Hanged Man and the Nine of Pentacles. And maybe, you know, this Hanged Man is just kind of saying that, you know, maybe there is a different way to perceive the situation. Or again, it may just not be a time to kind of fully act on something, but maybe just take a look at everything and see what the options are. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much once again for being here with me. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Libra.